Welcome to the launch of Case Manager 6. I'm super excited to take you on this warp speed journey through the new features that have been introduced in Case Manager 6. It's going to be a combination of me telling you a few things and just talking about it from a very high level, and then I'm also going to show you some detailed functionality that is absolutely mind-blowing to behold. So let's get started. I have a lot to cover and not a lot of time to do it in, so let's get going. Case Manager 6 is built around 6 areas that we focused on. Firstly, we have team management. Team management, our objective there is ultimately to boost your team performance. Then communication. We want to enhance your ability and your ability to communicate with your customers. And that's specifically where I'm going to start with my demonstration in probably 20 seconds from now. Then data, everything around data integration, finances, workflow, customization. The last one's really important. We have a really good story to tell in Case Manager 6 around customization. Let's get going. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of communication, but before I do that, I want to just create the context. Did you know that more customers now prefer to use messaging and texting to communicate? In South Africa, WhatsApp would be the main channel. In America, it's texting. And in other countries, it could be Facebook, Viber, other messaging-based systems. But we have seen this trend over the past 7 years. And actually, if you go back and you look at a study that J.D. Power brought out in 2017, you'll see that already back then, customers preferred messaging and texting over traditional channels like phone calls and email. Now, this creates an amazing opportunity. And around this opportunity, we created a product called VoyagerNetz Engage. This is not a case manager product, but it is a product of our sister company, VoyagerNetz. And we are using this in contact centers to revolutionize the way these contact centers are engaging with their customers. So let me give you a stat here. One of our contact centers where we implemented this have already completed 20,000 message-based conversations. Over and above that, this is a accounts receivable management collection call center. And 40% of conversations resulted in either a payment confirmation or in a payment arrangement. Now, you can go to any other form of communication and you won't see that type of statistic. Also, another very amazing part of the story is that message-based conversations are about 300% more efficient than phone call conversations. Let me show you why. So I'm going to switch over to a live demonstration of our VoyagerNetz Engage solution working inside a contact center. So what this is going to be, you'll see a customer's phone. So this is the customer texting in, but in this case, the demonstration I'm going to give you is demonstrating a new feature that's available, namely language translation, real-time in-conversation language translation. So I'm going to have a customer text in, or in this case specifically WhatsApp in, using German. It's it's a language I know, so I'm just more comfortable working with languages I understand. So they'll be texting in German. Then the customer will be responding in English, and you're going to see the two parties communicate efficiently with each other. And then I've got a really amazing surprise at the end of this section. So let's get started. So I'm just starting these two. They have been pre-recorded, as you can see. So what you have over here is the customer is scanning a QR code and texting in. This will directly connect the customer to the right team within the organization. I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. So what you now have, you have the agent view. Whoops. agent view over here. This is what VoyagerNetz Engage looks like. You can see the new conversation just came into waiting. There's an auto response that gets sent out. It's translated into German. So in this case, if I go back to the customer, you can see the auto response, even though it was written out in English originally, the customer gets it in German. Now the customer sent out this message, Guten Morgen, mein Name, I'm not going to read all of it. And let's look at the agent experience. So I'm jumping back to the agent view. So the agent immediately sees it here in English. Good morning, my name is Marlon. I heard, and that message is basically just heard about Case Manager 6 and that there's a new edition. And then the agent responds using a standard response and modifies it a little bit. This is a pre-packed response. So imagine having to tell somebody all of this over the phone. This is where the 300% efficiency increase comes from. Pre-packed responses and automated responses. So over there you can see that message. Using a pre-packed response was sent out. It gets translated to German. Let's look at the customer's version of this. The customer sees all of it in German. And the customer is now going to ask another question. So I'm just pasting in that question over there. The customer's asking this question of, now this is obviously the conversation not about accounts receivable or anything, but about Engage, because this is the demo we're doing. But there we go. That message was sent in. It's busy being translated. As you can see, they also can tell me how Case Manager customers can engage. And this is an amazing part that's coming right now. The agent is now feels more comfortable responding in their own language. In this case, I'm using Afrikaans. Again, language, that's my home language. So there we go. Ek bly hier vra ingesluit by Case Manager 6 bied ons nou tot en met December 2024. So this also shows you how team members can work together, better work together. So one team member is responding in Afrikaans, but immediately you see the English version over there. So all the other team members can read it in English. But if we go back to the customer side of it, the customer sees it in German. Isn't this amazing? So I want to jump ahead in this agent view. This is an example of team collaboration. So on one of these conversations, you can easily pull in other team members, create a chat group, and then have an internal private conversation. The customer can't see this around this customer. You can also transfer a conversation. So I'm showing you here where the conversation gets transferred to another team, and then everybody in that team will instantly get a notification of this transfer that's coming in. And then I'm also going to show you a complete, and that's where the stats come from. So whenever a conversation gets completed, you pick an outcome, and the outcome ends up going onto the stats. I showed you earlier that somebody connects directly to a group. This is how it happens. We have groups, and then every group has a handle, and if you use Engage with a handle, you connect directly to that group. We also, you just saw it over there, but we also have QR codes to make that whole engagement super simple. So you can put those QR codes on correspondence, documentation that goes out, or you can instruct the customer to use a specific term when WhatsApping in, like Engage, whatever the team name would be, and then they directly connect to that team name. I'm just switching back to the main presentation, just a second. So you saw that presentation. It's pretty fast moving, but I want to stop here and just reiterate. 20,000 conversations completed. 40% of them have a success rate, a successful outcome, with a 300% approximate efficiency increase. If you have a contact center, you absolutely have to implement message-based conversations. You can talk to us about how and what you need to do, but I have an amazing announcement to make. I'm leaving it to the end. We actually, let me tell you a little bit about it. We're giving some stuff away for free, some really, really good stuff. But let's just get through the next few pages on this presentation. So how does Case Manager 6 specifically help you boost team performance? Keep in mind, I'm not talking about Case Manager 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 functionality. This is Case Manager 6 that I'm focusing on. So Case Manager 6, we added this new feature where you now have role-based security. So we all know that this was missing. Finally, it's here. You can create a role, you can associate your users to that role, and very easily then change the security on all of the users that are associated with a specific role. This is going to make managing hundreds of users easy. Finally. Then also something that a lot of customers have asked for. How can we run Case Manager in the cloud? Now, we have worked closely with some of our customers and with the Microsoft Azure cloud systems to be able to host Case Manager inside Azure on Azure Virtual Desktop or Microsoft Windows 365. You might not have heard of Windows 365. It sounds like Microsoft Office 365. It's not the same thing. Windows 365 is basically a virtual desktop running in the cloud and it's hosted by Microsoft. Azure Virtual Desktop is more of an enterprise grade of that. Azure Virtual Desktop is cheaper per seat, but it's more expensive to set up because you really need to know what you're doing. We have technical information we can share with you of exactly how to do that. It is phenomenal. I have seen Case Manager run in the cloud and it's actually running on Microsoft servers. I was sitting in Chicago and it was running in Johannesburg on the South African Microsoft servers. It felt absolutely native. It also supports multiple screens, so you can have two desktops. I know a lot of people run Case Manager with two desktops. You can have that same experience with your desktop actually running in the cloud. It's phenomenal. It's something that if you want to run in the cloud, that is the absolute way to do it. And we have the technical know-how now, and we'll share that with you. We have some video recordings and we have some blogs written about exactly how to do that. So around data, we have as part of that integration into Azure, we've also enabled local case managers now to shift the files storage to the cloud. We've developed a FTP plugin into Case Manager, which is integratable into Azure storage, which means you can basically move your files into Azure and have them safely stored in the cloud. If that's something you need, it's available free of charge, no cost to that. And we can definitely share with you how to set it up as well. Then around finances, we created a new extension. So something that you know is with Case Manager, we have this feature where you can allocate credits to multiple debit entries. Now, it's sometimes not easy to know exactly to which debit entries those credits have been allocated. So we designed and developed this extension. And this is a great example of an extension, how flexible the extensions can be. So when you plug in this extension, the finances form gets a new button, and when you click on that button, it gives you a breakdown similar to what you see on the screen over here with exactly how the allocations was done, to which types of transactions they were allocated. It is amazing. If you are using allocations, this is a free extension. Just get it and install it. I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. So then also customization. You know, one of the things we've always pushed with Case Manager, sometimes to our own detriment, have been making it more flexible, adding more ability to customize and hone the product to your unique needs and requirements. So one of the things that have changed, and I'm not going to go into the details of it, but the extension manager have changed. It's more capable, more powerful, and more secure. But I'm not going to go into the detail right now. But what I want to tell you about is another type of extension. We call it web call actions. So web call actions are pretty amazing. It's based on a new technology that Microsoft released in 2022. Last year, and it allows you to pull an entire website into Case Manager. So it's another way of thinking about this, it's an embedded browser. Highly secure. It's based on the Edge browser, but Microsoft packed those components for several reasons. Firstly, they made it incredibly lightweight. Don't know if you've seen this, but if you open a browser inside a contact center, that browser is filled with distractions. It opens up and it's got 5,000 links to all kinds of weird and wonderful places you can go to. It's really not something you want to implement inside a contact center where you want high productivity. So yes, you can lock down the browsers, and there are all kinds of things you can do. But what this allows you to do now is build a browser directly into Case Manager. But not only that, you can create a button that will open a specific website, and you can only open the websites for which you've created these buttons. And also you can pass in parameters into those web calls. So for example, what you see on the screen over here is an example of a web call action for Google that does a Google search, a Maps search, and it passes in the employer name as an example. We've already had customers do pretty amazing things with it. You can, for example, have your tracing portal inside here. You can have deceased verification portals inside here. You can have finance systems. If your customer, for example, let's say you're a third party contact center performing some services for a customer, and that customer has a portal and they allow you to log in, you can have that portal now inside Case Manager. It is more secure and it is more focused on productivity. Plus, it also can have multiple browsers open associated with the case that you have open. So for example, if you open a case, the browser will automatically change based on what you've had open. This is also available free of charge. All of the web call actions that we create will be available free of charge. We will have them downloaded. Several of them are already downloadable on our website. And I am very excited to see what you guys can do. You can also build your own. This was actually built so that you can build your own web call actions. Okay, so the announcements I was bragging about. These are really good announcements. Firstly, you did see the brand. We've changed the Case Manager brand, and that will be our new logo. It's on the top right, you see the Case Manager logo. You did see the logo earlier as well. And you might also have seen that the Case Manager look and feel have changed substantially. So we're very proud of the new look and feel, and we believe that you will love it. There's a lot of things that have changed. Unfortunately, our themes have had to be dropped for various reasons, but the Case Manager themes that we used to have, they're not around anymore, but there are good reasons for that. So that's the first thing. And then also the website, the home of Case Manager is now permanently going to be www.casemanager.tech. And you'll also see all of our social media platforms. We are on most of the major platforms. We have a presence on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Oh, it's not Twitter, it's X now. On all of these places, what else? I think those are the major ones. And please follow us on social media if you want to stay abreast, stay in touch with what's going on in the world of Case Manager. That will be the way we connect to our community across the globe, will be through our social media. Then also the website. We have a blog on the website and we'll be making announcements on that blog. So follow that blog, but we will, whenever we post on the blog, we're going to announce it on social media. Then, as I mentioned, extensions are free. We are going to keep on developing new extensions, exciting extensions, and most of them, if not all of them, will be absolutely free of charge. We want to make them free because we love seeing people using our technology. And you're already paying for Case Manager, we might as well give you the extensions for free. So enjoy that, and please use it. It's there for you, and it's there to make you more productive. Then we are announcing Case Manager Small Business Edition. This edition is focused on helping small to micro businesses, anybody with 10 or less members in the team, to get started. That is a tough time of a business. When it's small, it's tough, and any help you can get is very welcome, I believe. So we are focused on helping our small business customers get started. Now, many of them use tools like Excel spreadsheets or Word documents, things like that. By using the right technology, you can definitely boost your business to get to the next level. And that's what we're helping with. So it's substantially less expensive for the small business edition. And also, we have some nice pricing options in there that please reach out to us if you fall within that category, and we can talk you through it. Then the major announcement for today is that every Case Manager customer now qualifies for a free VoyagerNetz Engage license, server license, as well as one user license. All of it's free. You only pay for your usage for messaging. So it's a substantial saving, and that will be in place until December 2024. You've seen it in action. You've seen what's possible. I would suggest you start using it. Now, there are some challenges for third-party debt collectors with WhatsApp. Reach out to us, and we can explain to you different ways of approaching messaging. There definitely are a lot of channels that you can easily utilize. But let's reach out to us if you're interested at all in using it. And I will highly suggest that you do, because of this change that's taking place in the industry. And then also, you will see an announcement from our side that we are starting a WhatsApp support channel for our global support teams. It will allow us to all work together inside the VoyagerNetz Engage system. We're using that as well. So I will just suggest going forward that you use the WhatsApp channel once you get that announcement. And that is it from me. That's Case Manager 6. As I mentioned, this was an eagle's eye view. It was a warp speed fly through. You did see that one presentation. If you're still around, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for spending the time with me today. We are very thankful for our customers, and we are very committed on making Case Manager better and better all the time. So we already have our plans in place for Case Manager 7, and I'm super excited about what that's going to look like. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me today, and let's, if you want to reach out to us, scan this QR code. That'll connect you directly to our Engage. You'll also see Engage in action. If you want to test language translation, be my guest. Take it for a ride on the system. And if you want to just chat to us about how you can use this technology, I would prefer it to use messaging, because then we can also demonstrate to you how nice messaging works. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy the rest of your week.